This is one of our new guns. Just got it. It's an American Tactical Bullpup 12 gauge. Comes with a 5-round mag. You can get a 20-round mag, which we're going to have to do. Not quite legal for dove hunting, but we're going to have one. And comes with choke tubes. Super cool little gun. We're going to try shooting it. That's badass.
That's fucking loud. Yep, I'm dove ready.
What's up, guys? Cody here. This episode is brought to you by the Head Cleaner and Ready Safe Survival Tins. If you would like either one, whether it's a survival tin, a European mount, links will be down in the description. Be sure to check them out. Let's dive on in. Solid.
Take 10,221.
We're back.
Oh, we're back.
I'm finally back in town.
I know he does that shit to me all the time. That's why I was sitting there staring at him. I'm like, wait a minute. You just hit the button and then you're like, he goes,
Yeah,
Ta-da!
I do that. Because it always catches him off guard. He doesn't know what's going on.
yeah.
I thought you were still explaining stuff to him.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to explain stuff to me a couple times.
I'm just impressed about how tech savvy he's become. Like
Oh,
when
he's
I gave him
teaching.
that laptop, I was like, I hope he doesn't fuck this up. And then like he started doing it, and I'm like, he's not fucking it up,
No.
and like he's doing good. And then
I'm
then whenever I used to work with him, I was like, you can schedule videos. He's like, what? And then like he figured it out on his own that you can schedule them. And then I'd be at work, and I know he's at work, and every one it pops up on YouTube, and I'm like, oh shit, there it is.
He did. He
Like-
texted me one day. He goes, did you do that? I was like, do what? He goes, we just had a short pop up on YouTube. I was
It
like,
was like 10:30 in the morning.
oh, I forgot. I scheduled it to do that. He's like, proud of you.
Yeah, I was like, proud of you.
you.
Well, we're back.
It is.
We were out shooting his new toy and his old toy. We'll explain those in a minute. I am gonna throw in the video of you fucking pulling the trigger as fast as you did, because that
Oh,
was
this dude was
insane.
flicking the bean.
And
That's why my wife loves me.
Mm-hmm.
throwing this out there, no YouTube. We're not dismantling guns and doing weird shit and making them illegal and everything else. I'm sure why they did that was because people were probably posting videos on how to make ARs fully auto
Oh, I'm sure.
and doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah, well,
AKs fully auto.
and I've watched a couple videos on YouTube where they've cut the barrel down legal length
Yeah.
and threaded it and made like homemade
yeah.
uh,
Oil can
Silencers and
silencers or
Yeah.
flash
yeah.
diverters, whatever you want to call them.
But since everyone likes to watch our videos in the first 10 minutes, there's
Yeah.
a shirt right here. He's wearing one. He's wearing one.
This is his,
They come
That's
in holy crap size.
that's mine.
but we
we
have
have-
a link.
There
you
will
can
be a
click
link
on.
in the description of every video from here on out. I'll make sure it's in every video. Now these are like the first made ones. We're gonna add a couple more things, change a little bit, small detail things, add like a YouTube logo and a Spotify logo because I did post the last two on Spotify,
Okay.
and then might throw in some other logos, just whatever. But we have shirts, and you said we're gonna be doing.
And I have a buddy that's
hats.
got a company called Hot DTF.
Yeah.
He's on all the social media platforms. He's doing all this stuff. We're getting ready to come out with new hats, new Richardson 112
Yeah, koozies.
hats, koozies, tumblers. I think the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of we're trying stuff out and seeing what works right now.
Yeah.
This was the first run prototype of the shirts.
Yeah.
I was like, gotta fucking have them. They're
Right.
cool. And it's just gonna keep getting better.
They're not
And-
super expensive. We're not trying to make millions of fucking dollars
No,
off of everybody.
we're gonna be
So-
comparable with
Yeah.
everybody on the market, maybe a little bit cheaper.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing this to make a shit ton.
I
of
just
money.
want y'all to have really cool
Um,
swag.
But so what we
Swag?
shot
Swag.
today,
Swag. Hey,
swag, yeah, what
I think that's what they call it.
I don't talk good.
What we shot today was
Yeah,
we
my
shot
man's been
his bullpup, his 12 gauge, and then we shot
Mm-hmm.
this Taurus 22, and needless to say, I was impressed with Chinese fucking hand movement here.
Oh my God, me too.
There's a reason why he's still married, and we figured out why today.
15 years.
Yeah, for 15 fucking years to his wife, and it's not his side is because she can cook real good. Her side is what he did with the trigger. And we
He's got
figured
the
it out.
motion with the fingers.
Yeah. So
Like,
if you
I
want to talk
tried.
about your new toy that we haven't really talked about much yet.
We've showed it on here once before, but
Yeah.
he's got one just like it. It's American Tactical 12 gauge bullpup. I love it. It doesn't kick near as bad as I thought it was going to.
Right.
It comes with replaceable choke tubes. It's got 5-round mag. It's super short. It's super truck savvy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it'll fit. It'll stow away, hide away, fit in just about anything.
Yeah.
Super cool. I think it's going to be a dove killer.
Oh.
I really do. No, it's 5-round mag, so it's legal to hunt with
Yeah.
until you put the big mags on it. And dove season's coming up. I just got to try it.
As long as they ain't over 20 yards away.
Well, I mean, honestly, shooting that full choke, it reaches out
You
there.
probably got 30, 35. That's max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I first got it and we was down at Cuz's, I was standing up on that riverbank, and it was a good 75, 80 yards, and it was still patterning like a 55-gallon drum size. So I'm gonna have to aim it at a dove. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
catch him with a pattern.
Might want to get a little better sights on it.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Hollow would be
holographic
And a
sight.
foregrip.
Yeah.
And a
front
foregrip.
grip. Yeah, a front grip would be.
And me and him been talking about that too. I kind of want one of those that angles a little bit to the side so you can
Yeah.
get a good solid,
Yeah, you can just hold it like this from
Yes,
the side. Yeah,
yes.
That'd be fucking perfect.
because it's not real. I wish we would have took it. I wish I would have brought it and shot at your brother's
Trap shoot.
trap shoot, because holy shit, if I could have even come close to some of those guys with this, that would have looked cool as hell.
Oh, hell yeah.
Them kids with them $1,000 guns out there.
Oh yeah.
Gee,
Speaking of which,
Louise.
how did that turn out? Did you ever get a final count? How many people showed up for the shoot
Um,
and like
I can look real quick.
how good they did?
It was one of our better years. I know those Chiefs tickets that they donated,
Yeah,
Went
did
for,
they end
like-
up selling good?
$3,500.
No shit.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. It was a suite with all
Yeah, it
your
was-
food and drinks and everything included.
You had
The only thing you had to
access
buy
the-
extra was what? Parking passes?
Yeah, the parking passes weren't included. Which, okay, I mean, yeah. What's the other
$35?
Fucking $35 gonna
Yeah,
hurt you.
no big deal.
Okay, so according to this, we had a great turnout of 75 shooters.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, and then all the donations, and then I got
You
my
of them was school shooting clubs, wasn't they?
Mm-hmm. I got my participation trophy. That's all that mattered.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride.
Right? But it was fun. You guys went there. There's a bunch of cool shit.
Oh yeah, it was
That
great.
Good
It was a
time.
cool deal.
The good food. I don't know if you guys ate the food or not, but I did.
No, I had pork chop in a can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I finished that day off pretty solid.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
bet
went
you
to
did.
the lake and wow, that was another birthday party after that. It was a full day of fun and excitement, and
It was a good time.
we stayed the night at Mike and Danielle's. Had to.
You intoxicated?
I
to drive.
was inebriated.
Okay, so your toy.
My toy. My little the Taurus TX22. There is nothing fancy special about this gun. That thing, I've had it, I think at least 5 years now.
Beat up.
And that time, it has been flopped around in the truck. It has been on the floorboard. It has never been cleaned. And it never fails. You seen the ammo I was pulling out of my buggy for
Yeah.
it. That ammo sits in there. It
Corroded.
don't matter if it's raining, whatever, winter time. It's got corrosion on it. It doesn't matter. This thing will eat it.
Oh,
It-
And it
because
does not
he
fail.
said eat it.
Everything. Taurus TX22, 16-round mags. This thing's a little workhorse. I haven't cleaned this gun. I use it, it gets thrown down. It's dusty, dirty all the time. It shoots no matter what. It doesn't matter.
it
Never
eats.
jam.
And it likes to shoot through a bed.
It does. It like shoots bed too.
What? What are we eating?
They have no idea. I did that, so I threw in that clip of him saying "eat it."
Oh.
and then fucking shooting.
Oh,
So that clap, I'll go back and listen for that clap, and then I'll put that fucking clip in there.
Oh, okay.
And then they don't know how this modern shit works. But usually when you watch streamers and they're like, "We'll be right back,"
Oh.
and then it shows them doing a
I've
cutaway.
seen Dr. Phil
and
say
then-
that.
Yeah.
And we'll be back.
No, yeah, that's
We're going to
that's,
stay right there.
that's a fucking commercial break.
That's
We don't have
No,
commercials.
Adam
yet.
Ray.
But
We're going to keep it right here.
But no,
Yeah, how the fuck he shot his the way he did is fucking.
It was 16 rounds in a burp.
Yeah.
And it's not full auto. I shot it right after.
it is as
Yeah.
bone stock, just like it came out of the box from factory.
There's
There
a
is
reason why his wife loves him.
Yeah, he's got some finger speed.
that.
Yeah.
But no, that is my everyday carry gun.
And so far, it only has one kill under its record, and it's the bed sitting over there on the floor.
Well, I mean,
Besides
one
rabbits and-
inanimate object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that I've been told about. It's the bed right behind the camera.
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
He was totally freaking out. I'm like, it's okay. It's not a big deal. It was funny as hell.
It wasn't breathing.
Wasn't funny to me.
Yeah, but I mean, you had it pointing in a safe direction,
Oh yeah.
and it just cleared it, and everything was good, and it just didn't grab the shell and clear it.
No, it was the
Yeah.
one time it gave me any issue right there, and that may have been operator error. I'm
Well-
going with that was definitely operator.
Well, I keep
error.
thinking about it, and too, that was back. What? That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was back when the only way I can figure it, because I've thought about it several times, is you had it aimed down, and when you pulled it out, if that bullet didn't pop out, it slid right back in.
See where my thumb was at on it. I bet.
It hit your
the more I
thumb and
thought
went back
about it,
in.
it hit my thumb and stayed in. The mag was out, and when I went to let off the firing pin, it just fell right back in.
That's why you always make sure you're pointed in a safe direction, boys and
Yes.
girls. And he
Yes.
was.
But that bed
Everybody's
took
gonna
one for
make
the
a
fucking
dumb
team.
move.
Accidents
sooner or later.
happen,
It
shit
happens.
happens. But if you're pointed in a safe and cleared direction, you're good to go.
I mean, we've seen that where we used to work before.
Yeah, Cody shot the wall.
So, right?
I shot a buddy's tailgate, but I wasn't going to talk about it. I was like, look, see, it's empty. Click, click.
Yeah, you call
And it went right through the tailgate. So then from then on, he put a sticker around it. It was a kid I went to school with. He put a sticker around it and said, no, or don't ask, drive by. So every time we'd go somewhere and we're in his truck, they're like, did his truck really get shot in a drive-by? I'm like, oh, yeah, you should have seen it.
Yeah.
I said, we weren't even involved. We were just innocent bystanders and almost died. Wasn't even close.
It makes for a good story.
It did. It did. He thought it was pretty cool. He even highlighted around it so people noticed it.
Right.
Most people would have been like, I got a hole in my truck. I got to fix that. He's like, fuck that. That's awesome.
My pickup's got a bullet hole in the, I think it's the passenger door, right down the very bottom.
Shut up. No
You
kidding.
can see where it's a 22. You can see it looked like probably somebody reached in and grabbed something from the inside
And shot the
right
door?
through the bottom of the door.
No
The
kidding.
door was obviously open.
Right.
It's not in the plastic, nothing. They grabbed it and they shot right through the bottom of that door and they come right out, probably
In
that
your
far
white
from the
truck?
back corner.
In your white truck?
No, my silver truck.
No, it's big
Oh.
silver.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Chevy.
It's
Yeah,
fucking silver.
I
What
guess
is
it's
it,
been
silver or
dark
white?
every time you see
Yeah,
it.
every time I see
Yeah.
it, it's dark.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
is the first
dirty
time we've
as
Well,
recorded
there may have
before.
been a little alcohol involved them times too.
This is the first
Oh,
time we've
yeah.
recorded earlier than normal.
I know.
Hey, and
So
non-alcohol.
non-alcohou.
I'm telling you.
drinking a Mountain Dew.
I'm Coke
East
Zero in
Coke
it.
Zero.
Or
That
Dr.
is-
Pepper
Dr.
Zero.
Pepper.
That
He's-
is lime cucumber Gatorade. Delicious.
Speaking of fucking, have you ever had them Michelob Ultra, the lime and fucking cactus thing? They're gross as
That's
fuck.
what my
Yeah,
wife. That's what my wife and
I-
Danielle were
I
drinking
tried
last
one.
night. The
Can't do
cactus
it.
infusion.
They're gross.
They're good.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Oh, I like them.
I don't.
Of course,
So,
I
I have to
don't
tell
think
you
I've ever
something.
actually had them until I was about 10 bush lights in. So
Well, then everything tastes fine.
yeah,
then.
it all tasted good. I
So
even had
last
a neutral
weekend-
last night.
When we went to that golf course, I sent you a Snapchat of.
Uh-huh.
And I know you just drive around most time when you go golfing.
Yeah.
That
I'm
golf
j-
course was fucking interesting.
Did it have a cool course or a cool cart path?
Oh, yeah.
See,
No,
that's
no.
the way I.
So
That's the way I rate a golf
okay,
course.
So like the
if
very
it's like
first hole,
NASCAR, I'm
like,
in.
oh yeah, those golf carts go way faster than ours.
Yeah,
And they're electric, not gas.
but I'm talking like the cart path itself. It had a lot of cool
Oh
curves.
yeah, you were
and-
crossing roads, going through fucking people's yards,
Yes,
neighborhoods, all kinds
that's
of weird
what
shit.
If
But,
you know of a golf course that's got a really cool cart path, send me a link.
But so the very first hole, you tee off downhill.
Nice, like
And then,
7 up at
and
Sugar
then,
Valley.
like, yeah, and then like the rest of them are just like, so the front nine's just like your straight shot, normal, whatever.
Right.
The back 9, after you tee off on 10, it's just flat, normal, and then you go across this road, go up a hill, and then you tee off around, down, and around a corner. And then there's one hole where you get to the tee box and you look straight across from you, and the hole's on the other side, like 180 yards, right? Not that fucking bad. But
Right.
there's a 100-yard fucking ravine right in front of you.
Oh, shut up! You're going from hilltop to hilltop.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That was even the fucking icing on the cake. The hole right after that, you tee off uphill, and it's a fucking embankment like this.
So
And
if
the
you're not
only
high enough,
safe
it hits it
spot
and knocks it right back
Is
to
the
you.
top 4 fucking feet next to the cart path.
Shut up.
Well, that was bad.
So you hit the wall and it rolls back down the hill
If
to
you
you.
don't clear the platform, it just rolls down into the fucking trees.
Oh.
And so now by that point,
How many balls did you
me,
lose on that hole?
Logan, my brother Jake, and Lucas were a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
So my dad had cleared where he needed to be, and we're just fucking trying. And I think we lost about 15 balls apiece just on that one hole fucking trying. And then the next hole, you start off up here and you hit down here.
Right.
It's like a 150-yard drop. Straight. So like you hit straight up and you watch your ball go like this and you go, "Ka-sha," and just fucking fall.
Oh.
Yeah, it leaves about a 6-inch fucking divot in the fucking ground.
Nice.
Yeah, just right there. But those fucking cart paths, you go under these fucking tunnels and go underneath roads and shit. And then the next thing I know, we're going from the hill that's like this to the next hole. You cross a road, drive through a little fucking neighborhood, and then fucking go out the backside. And Jake goes, "Where the fuck are we? Is this the same golf course?" I'm like, "I don't know. There's arrows in every fucking direction."
Really?
And oh yeah, it was fucking weird. But
That's neat.
it was definitely one that you would.
Now, where was that at? Down in Fayetteville?
It was in Bella Vista. It's called
Bella Vista.
Scottsdale.
Bella Vista?
And
Yeah, Grandma, hoping you don't hit a Titleist right through the kitchen window while she's
I
drinking
guarantee
coffee.
you, Lucas
Right?
fucking smoked a house because down that one with the hill like this, we ended up going up to the red tee box up there and trying to tee off straight. And Lucas found one of his balls laying on the ledge. So he fucking tees up right there with his driver on the fucking ledge and
Oh, shit.
slices that motherfucker. And we look over the hill and there's a fucking house.
Uh-oh.
And Lucas is like, "We're not going up on top of the hill, boys." Just fucking
Yeah,
goes-
we're going to
goes
go
down.
around.
But that was when we you have to schedule a tea time, and so we got there, and everyone's like, "Do you have beer?" It's just 10:20 in the morning, and of course it's Logan first. So how they do it is they give you the ice bags, like when you buy bags of ice with the
Right,
strings, and they put
right.
ice in the bottom, they put the beer on top, and a little bit more ice, and they hand you the bag. Logan walks out. You have to check in with the cart driver guy
Uh-huh.
because he assigns you a cart. And Logan just walked over and set his beer in a cart because he thought it was the next one, and goes talks to the guy, and then watches these people get in his cart and drive off.
Oh,
And he's like,
my
"Oh,
beer's in there.
fuck, there goes my beer." So he goes back inside, buys another fucking 6-pack, comes back outside, pissed off because you could buy cocktails inside, but you can't take them outside the clubhouse.
Oh, okay.
Comes back outside, and he's holding this fucking bag of beer, and the guy's like, "Hey, did any of you buy beer?" And Logan's like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, here you go, bud." So Logan's like, "Oh, fuck." And we already packed a cooler and
Doubled
every
up.
fucking thing. Oh, God. He was drunk.
He was on one.
And then he lied to my sister and said he was only playing 9 holes. It was an 18-hole only golf course. So she was not fucking happy.
Ah,
But it was
better
a
to
good
ask
time.
for forgiveness and permission.
That's why we didn't record last weekend.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
was on vacation.
and then
Again.
last weekend I had to work. So my father-in-law called and
Oh.
he's like, "Hey, I need your help." And he's got one of them little, well, it's like this. It's this building
Yeah.
that we use as a hunting cabin, only his is not finished and doesn't look like a house inside like this. When he first bought that farm out there, that's what they stayed in when they went out. And it's got plywood floors, stud walls. And he goes, "I want to move it," because it literally was sitting right in the middle of the yard. And now that he's got the big building there and the man cave and all that stuff, and they just built a big lean-to on the side to park all the tractors and stuff under, he goes, I put me a little gravel pad over here. I want it over on this way. That way it clears out my view to the pond and that whole belly. You've been out there.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be straight to the east. Back against where he mows there is where the shed's at now. And all that
Okay.
big yard area and everything's open. So we get out there, and of course, he's like, "I'm going out tonight." And I asked Rid, because Rid was going with me. I was like, "What's your plan?" He goes, "I don't have one." He goes, "I want to go to fair and hang out for a while." I was like, "Okay, be back here at 6." He's like, "Why?" I said, "We're going tonight." We just go hang out, drink beer with my father-in-law. It's a freaking blast. So we get there, and his neighbor's there. And his neighbor, if you haven't seen him yet, oh my God, Kawasaki just come out with a new side-by-side. And it's a limited. This bitch has power windows, power locks, navigation system in the dash, like heat, AC. It's got everything. It's a glorified car. He paid $30,000 for this bitch.
Oh,
Yeah.
Damn.
So he shows up, and he's like, "Check out the new buggy." So we're hanging out talking, and my father-in-law's neighbor is actually this guy's boss. And he goes, "Well, Jason's down in the bottom, and he's cleared out a new food plot, and he's got it all pushed up in a brush pile, and he's burning it. We're like, hell, get on the buggy, we're going. So me and my father-in-law and Red jump on his buggy, and him and his wife and his youngest boy jump in his buggy. And we have, like, they're great neighbors. They have a gate that divides property lines, so either one can just open the gate and come on over to this farm, or we can go to that farm and hang out and just surprise each other. We call it Lily Lane because that's his daughter's name, and Red had a crush on her back in the day. So we drive down Lily Lane, open the gate, and he's got some trails. Dude, you'd swear you were down in like Chadwick or Deepwater, like kick-ass trails cut through this place. So we're following him. We're going through all these trails, and we start seeing the glow because it's right at dark. Huge brush pile on fire. I've got some video of it. I'll send you, and we can put it on here. Huge brush pile. And they're building a new pond. Well, we get ready to leave, and he's like, I need to tell my other boy, our friend did. I'm not going to say his name because he still feels bad about this. He said, I need to tell my other boy what's going on, why we're not back. Mind you, there was not alcohol involved. So we can't even blame this on alcohol. And he's like, there's a trail that goes up to the top of the hill because everybody gets signal on top of the hill.
Yeah.
Where we were at's down in the bottom. He goes, we'll just run up top of the hill. I'll text him, and then we'll take the north trail out so Goucher can see it all. I'm like, all right, cool. We come up to the gate that we had gone through, and he just kind of goes around it, and he's going to cross the creek. Dude, all I seen in slow motion was the left rear tail light go. And I'm like, oh, and I looked at my father-in-law and said, that's going to be bad. Boom, rolled it.
Oh.
$30,000 buggy.
Brand new one.
$30,000 buggy. He's literally had it 2 weeks.
Oh.
Like,
Is everyone okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So let
good.
me, no, yes and no. So $30,000, that is the 14-day mark. This was the 2-week mark. It's on its side. I freak out. I'm like, shit, because they got their little boy in the middle. And thank God it's got a shit handle right up in the center.
Yeah.
And he had his seatbelt on, or he didn't have his seatbelt on. If he'd had his seatbelt on, his dad would have took him out. So we run up there, and of course, those doors with the power locks and everything, they're heavy. And it's setting up on its side, and it's quite a ways off the ground. And I got my father-in-law to open the handle, and I stood the door up, and he's looking right at me, their little boy. He's like, hey. I said, are you okay? Yeah. Standing on his mom's head. So we pick him up, get him out of there, and then we get her stood up and get her out of there. And she kept going, I just need to lay down. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm thinking concussion.
Yeah.
She's like, just let me take a little nap right here. I'm like, you get your ass up off that ground now. The whole time, our buddy is still in there. And I'm like, is he okay? And I got her positioned in another buggy. And he's like, he's making that noise like, I'm thinking, Jesus.
He broke something.
Yeah, we are literally in the freaking middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
0 cell phone service.
That doesn't matter for
A
911
solid, I know, but a solid 45-minute drive for any first responders
Easily,
or any of that.
Easily.
Like it's a corner of bumfuck and you got a pretty mouth.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can hear banjos on certain nights.
Right.
So we finally get him stood up. Well, then I find out that when he went to college, played football, and had a titanium shoulder replacement.
Oh, fuck.
Well, and thank God titanium's tough because it didn't hurt anything, but it bruised the shit out of him, and it bruised the shit out of his wife. So we get him up out of there, and he goes, I said, how are we going to do this with this buggy? Because mind you, it's a creek bank, and then it's on its side. So even if you tilt it up, the wheels are going to hit the creek bank before it stood up. And he goes, fuck it, leave it there. I'm like, $30,000 buggy. We're going to have to try to put 6 people in my father-in-law's buggy. I'm like, we ain't leaving this thing here. If I got to drive it out, I'm gonna. And he goes, well, I don't know what to do. I said, you got a winch and there's a pipe. Dude, it couldn't have been more perfect. There's, the 2-section pipe parts that they put in the middle of a fence to keep the tension.
Oh, yeah.
Where you got 2 separate sections. It's right by us going down into that creek. So I just unhooked
Free-wheeled the winch. Cheap on the concrete on that one.
Right. Free-wheeled the winch, went over and hooked to the pipe, made Red crawl in this thing, and he's literally standing on the little handles on the door. He's standing on it with his head in the driver's seat running the winch. And I was like, you're going to have to be ready because once we get it up to a certain point,
it's going to tip.
You're going to have to put your feet in the floorboard then instead of out the window.
Yeah.
So we got it stood up. Well, like I said, that creek bank was so steep, it wouldn't stay.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to have to leave the winch hooked. You're going to have to get this thing in neutral, and then we're going to roll it forward down into the creek bottom. Long story short, we got it all up on its tires. Well, then we couldn't figure out how to get it out of there.
Fucking hammer down.
Yeah, and so he's already hurt anyway. His shoulder's hurt. The buggy's hurt. We're like, I said, what do you want to do? He goes, just keep the wife and the kid with you. I'll get it out of here. The show commenced. Dude, he rock crawled up out the other side of the creek, was busting trees over that big around, like just pushing them over. He's like, it's already hurt. I'm going to have to turn it into insurance. This motherfucker's getting us out of here. And he did. He found his way back around and got back around to us. We got to looking at it, and I'm like, I will say it's tough because it just had one little scuff on the fender flare on the front and a hole in it. And it busted out the passenger window, and it spiderwebbed the windshield. But other than that, it really didn't look hurt.
Well, you said Kawasaki.
Yeah. Oh,
What do I got?
yeah. It didn't really look
So you
hurt.
just take all that glass out and put plexiglass in and say, fuck it.
Oh no, he's gonna turn it into insurance. Thank God he had insurance on. He's like, it's a limited.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's like a black and kind of a rust brown color limited. I mean,
Yeah.
this sucker was loaded, and he'd only had it 2 weeks. He said, I got it insured for more than I paid for it. I'm getting a new one. So we get it all up there. They all go home because they're all beat up, and they left the buggy there, took his truck, and went on home. They come back the next day while we're working, and I'm like, "How you doing?" And he said, "Well, can't move my arm, but I think I'm okay." Like he literally was walking around with that right arm in his pocket. Well, then we got to looking at the buggy, and I gotta say, I think if you roll that son of a bitch hauling ass somewhere, you got a better chance than if you just tip it over.
Probably.
Because something to do with that, it was probably as tall as this table, the drop off, and then the distance of that top roll bar hitting the bottom, it tweaked the frame. You can look at the windshield now, and there's a gap above it on one side, and it's touching on the other.
Look at the roll bars they put. 'Cause even those, they got to have same basic roll bar in it. They're just bolt on at the bottom.
Oh,
That's all they are. I think it's probably 12 bolts. I can take the whole roll cage off of mine.
no shit.
Yeah. Now, granted, they're tough. I have roped a cow off of mine and used it to make her
Oh,
stop.
I remember you
but-
used it as a horn, a saddle horn.
Yeah. They're tough, but you hit them just right up top, you'll tweak them pretty good.
Yeah, it did. So I haven't talked to him since. I'm kind of anxious to find out if it totaled that thing.
No.
Or
but
you don't think so?
No. No, because everything on it's bolt on. You can replace it.
And
fast
Red kept
enough.
going. It's not going to start. It's been on its side too long. I'm like, that son of a bitch will start. Just
It's
give it a
fuel
minute.
injected.
Start it right up. And
Fuel
it
injected.
has. That's the other thing I was going to tell you too. It has a 3-cylinder motor in it.
Same one mine's got. It's a Sherry engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They
And-
are, I can't remember where they're from.
And it turbocharged.
Oh.
Oh, this thing.
Oh,
it's
shit.
the workhorse. Like it's got the tilt bed and everything, but it's the fancy model.
Like the
So it got
Polaris
the
Rangers.
sport motor in it.
Yeah.
Dude, that son of a bitch will get it.
We need one.
Oh yeah. That's what I told him. I said, I don't honestly know if I had 30 grand, I would put it into a buggy.
Well, if I had $30,000 of fuck off money, I would.
Yeah, but this is also the same guy. They have 7 buggies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's got the big Polaris
Ranger.
racing. No, the
Oh,
racing one.
the Razors.
That's got a 4-door.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
got 3.5 foot of
1,000
travel.
Turbo.
Yeah, actually, I think it's 1200 or 1500 cc. It's huge, and it's like that
Jesus.
gunmetal gray. It's got like 2.5 foot of travel, 4-wheel independent suspension. He goes, if we'd have been in my Razor, that wouldn't even rolled. I was like, what? He goes, my suspension will flex that far. But because they were in, that's the other thing. It was his wife's. She just bought it because she's her main income now is cattle.
I wish I had that fucking
Quit her
main
job.
income.
She's got a shit ton of cattle, and they've got a shit ton of ground. So all she does all day is watch her cows, check calves.
So that was the feed buggy.
Yeah. And that's
Tax
the reason they
write-off.
bought the one with the heat and AC and all of that stuff in it, because she's all the time out just tootling around in it. So we're like, she goes, he would have to tear mine up. And I'm like, I can't blame it on him. It was dark. And in his defense, there used to be a trail there. But that was also before we got 17 inches of rain this spring
Right.
in
Washed
3
everything
days, and it washed that whole side out. Yeah, it was crazy. They made for a very eventful evening. I'm not gonna lie, I think I may have proceeded to get drunk afterwards because I was like stressing. That scared the shit out of me with that little boy in there.
Oh yeah.
And
For
then when
sure.
he started making that moaning sound, and I'm thinking, we're in the middle of nowhere. Please God, he can't be hurt. We made it out, but it was a little touch and go.
Oh.
So anything else exciting happened?
I mean, last Saturday, my wife's pig had babies.
Oh,
Yeah,
Got
so,
little piglets running
we
around.
got little bacon bits.
Little bacon bits.
We lost one of them. We ended up. I don't know if Mama stepped on his guts, and he was doing better. But then with the heat yesterday, and it was castration day.
Oh.
I think the heat got him. After whatever happened to his guts really messed him up.
you cut
he
the
just
nuts
went-
on them babies already?
Yeah.
Hmm.
little
Weren't they-
like grapes. So we had my
little some
sister-in-law
bitches.
come down and do it. She's working a big farrowing bunch
Yeah.
somewhere in northern Missouri, I think. But
So they weren't even bacon bit eaters.
no.
Those nuts were so small they probably just
I don't know that one, the runt. I mean, he's all head.
Yeah.
This little sucker, he had a set of nuts on him.
my
I'm
man.
like, gee, gee.
I can identify with that.
But oh yeah, so we ended up. I got my wife these pigs.
We had this
Because-
discussion on the way to his brother's trap shoot.
Yeah, get my wife these pigs. She wants mini pigs. My wife will have every animal in the world if I let it happen. Told her we did not buy a big enough farm for this. But what are you chewing on now?
They ran out of rogues, so I had to get
Oh.
ons. Yeah, it wasn't
But we ended up.
sucks.
I put a feeler out through my sister-in-law. Hey, I'm gonna surprise my wife for the anniversary. I'm gonna get her a mini pig. All right, sure, cool, no problem. We'll find one. So she messages her friend. Well, her friend is my sister-in-law. Tells her, keep it kind of quiet. You know, it's gonna be a surprise. She thinks it's a surprise from me. So she gets a hold of Gina. Hey, we ain't got mini pigs, but this bunch we know has these two potbellies. They're gonna get rid of for free. My wife messages me. Hey, why is she messaging me about this? Like, surprise.
She wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, damn it.
Surprise!
We go get these pigs, and these pigs have been running around all over the place. The bunch had got busy and apparently had baby pigs and didn't have time to mess with them, and it's kind of pigs did what pigs did. And we'd asked them when we picked them up, is there any chance that these two females are bred, which are Becky and Darlene, my little problem children?
Already named.
Oh, no, there's no way. Well, as we're trying to catch said pigs, there's this little boar potbelly running around out there that one of these bitches is bred. Guarantee it. All right, whatever. Get them loaded up and get them home. They're a little overweight. They've been eating with big fat sows anyhow. We cut them back to potbelly food. And one went to losing, one didn't.
And the day of your shoot,
Huh.
he literally looked at me in the truck. He goes, I'm afraid one of these pigs is pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, really? He goes, oh, yeah.
Yeah. By the middle of the next week, wife come in. She goes, I got bad news. What? Becky's starting to come on to milk. Ah, Saturday morning, she comes in. Becky's having babies. Yay!
And, dude, she's the best
Yay.
animal mom on the planet.
Oh yeah.
Because
My
Gina was
wife-
literally sitting out there Indian style with the pig, helping the babies eat.
Yeah.
Like, she's sending me videos. I was cracking up.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're cute little pigs, and I made the mistake of mentioning that around her. Yeah, they're cute. You said it. You said they're cute. My son, he's bound determined we're keeping all of them. Which
And then
he had named them. Of course, the midget one, the runt, whatever you want to call it, had a little L and dots, so my wife calls it Leo. But Everett named the other ones
Hickory,
Eenie.
Dickory, and Doc.
Nope.
Oh.
Eenie, Meanie, Miney, and Fred. Said, Fred, he goes, yeah, because we don't want no mo.
No, we don't want no more.
Unfortunately, Fred didn't make it.
Oh,
So you got eeny, meeny,
So
miny.
we got Eenie, Meanie, Miney, and Leo.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
random fuck.
That little piggy went to the market.
And they're pot bellies. They ain't no good to eat.
I mean, if you get one split off from the others that you're not real attached to, and we put him on a
You've
put him
met
on a
my
hog
wife, right?
regiment, we could possibly
They don't
smoke
do
him
worth
whole.
the darn off of it. You put them on a regular pig regiment, that belly hits the ground, you got little legs sitting there kicking 'cause they can't touch.
I mean, it'd be kind of funny. Yeah, I heard they just naturally put on fat.
Oh, they do. It's nothing but fat. But I mean, they're cute little shits.
They're cute.
So yeah, now we have Becky, Darlene, and the bacon bits.
The bacon bits.
So yeah,
It's freaking hilarious. Yeah, I texted him. I was like, hey, so I hear you're starting a hog farm. All I got back was, fuck you.
Oh, well, there you go.
He's like, I didn't want them, but they are cute. And Gina is absolutely ecstatic about
oh
them.
yeah, she loves them.
So
Yeah.
inadvertently, she got her mini pigs for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
She got 5 of them.
yeah.
At least.
Started with 2, went to 7, down to 6.
Now I noticed they were speckled.
Yeah.
Is that from the male, or will they get dark like their mamas?
I have no clue.
I wondered.
It's like, I'm new to this.
But I mean, if they're crossed
Grew
with,
up on the farm. I knew nothing about potbelly
I
pigs.
know, but you're sure the male was a potbelly? Because that's what I'm thinking. If they're
He was a
crossbred with a
pig.
different kind of pig,
He was a little short. Gina swears up and down that he looked more like a mini potbelly cross. I think he just looked like a pig.
because if he was, if
had
he
a
was
big
any
old
kind
set
of a
of
meat
nuts on
pig,
him.
yeah, any
But no,
kind
he
of a meat
wasn't
pig crossed.
off the table. He was probably about that tall.
Oh, okay.
So, but they ain't supposed to get about 50 pounds. I think is all they're supposed to be. But
Yeah.
we'll see. My son's bound to determine we're keeping every one of these, and he is sadly mistaken. They're going to go find new homes.
I mean, you start
So-
marketing them now, you can make some money off them little suckers.
I just want them to go to someone that will love them and get them out of my hair.
Love them and hug them and eat them and call them George. I mean, pet them, not eat them.
Jesus. He just said they don't taste good.
Well, I mean, I still kind of want to try. My mom's got a goat out here that poor little guy. He had a rough start, and he doesn't have any back feet. Remember that? No,
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen him?
I thought you were talking about the one that's got the weird.
Oh nope, he died.
Oh, he did?
He doesn't have back feet.
No, this one doesn't have back feet. So what it was when we
Walked
had
on his front ones. Or
when we had that big
something?
bull in here, that big lacy bull.
Yeah.
He stepped on him, and it literally pulled the skin and the hoof right off of that leg. Well, my dad, being the certified vet he is, he just shoved it back on, and
Duct taped it.
we used ace bandage or
I would believe duct
bandages
tape.
and Tyvac tape, and Tyvac'd it on there. Because the vet, she's like, there's really nothing we can do for that. You just shoot him in the head. And my mom's like, you're not shooting that goat in the head. We're going to do everything we can to save him. So, long story short, the one is still got a hoof on it, but he can't use it. The other one is literally just a bone nub with hair on it. I mean, it's all healed up.
Yeah.
And they
Weird.
kept giving him his shots, and mom would go out and clean the bandage. So this little shit's never known how to walk on 4 legs.
Oh.
And so when he gets ready to go, it's fucking hilarious. My mom wants to build a wagon for him to tow his ass in, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. If you watch him when all the other goats get ahead of him, he will lean forward and run on them front 2 legs. And this dude can haul ass. Ass up in the air, feet hovering about that high off the ground, and he's rolling.
He's a wheelbarrow.
Yeah. I'm like, so with dad getting ready to go have this big neck surgery and all this stuff, and they're like, you can't be lifting over 5 pounds, possibly for the rest of his life, but for sure for 12 weeks, because they're cutting the back of his vertebrae out. And I'm like, we need to get all the projects that he sees all the time out of his eyesight. I don't want him outside doing something that's going to get him hurt. And I'm like,
I know your dad. That ain't gonna stop.
I know. I said we probably ought to get rid of some of these goats as well. And so we talked to the Amish over in Rich Hill, and we're going to take a big load of male goats over in a week or so. And mom goes, I guess I'm going to get rid of, she's got a name for him. I don't remember what it is. The little
Stumpy.
2-legged one. And I was like, you know what? Why don't you let me smoke him? She's like, what? I've always wanted to cook a goat whole, smoke them. I mean, we've had goats for 20 years.
But it's
Dude.
a goat.
Dude, I've been watching. I got recipes. I've been
Oh,
watching these
God.
people, and like it's all in the seasoning. The right amount of seasoning and the right kind of seasoning will take what most people call gamey out of a goat. I don't want to smoke one whole. So I was like, why don't we just smoke a little tenderfoot there? Because he ain't got a couple, and he may not. I mean, he'd still bring good at the sale, but not as good as one that's got 4 feet. And this guy, it's not a sale barn that we take him to. He has a butcher house. And he has a bunch of Muslims that come down and just buy goats already processed. And because he does it, I think it's a Jewish thing when you say kosher, but he does it where their
Well, there's some
religion is okay with it, the
ceremony
way
they
he
have
does
to
it.
do
Yeah, well, the way he does it, it's okay for them.
Yeah.
So they'll come down, literally, I guess they come down like once every other week and buy a whole goat. and he gives us great price on them because he's like, I got to keep a supply in here because they're down here like clockwork buying goats. So I was like, well, I don't know. He said, I'll give you the same price for him. He said they're literally just going to slaughter him and hang him. He said, so the feet don't matter. But I'm like, that'd be a good one for me to cook. I can catch his last. I'm sure I can run on 2 feet faster than he can.
You say that, he'd outrun you.
Probably.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like
But
in
he's-
basset hounds we
He's
used
not
to
gonna
raise.
outrun a.
So that may be an option here in the near future. We be trying goat meat.
I think
I
I'm
mean,
going to opt out on that,
I
dude.
guess I'll try anything once.
I mean,
Except anal.
everything. He does not want to be pegged. Wait a minute. Are you meaning anal on somebody else or yourself?
Like, ain't nothing. Me.
Nope. That's X and
Try
only.
anything once, but anal.
Nope. I don't. I think there's more than just that. There's got to be more than just that I won't try. I mean, that's a valid option. I'm not trying that either. But I think my list would have to be. I don't know. I can't think right off the top of my head. There's other things I won't do.
Did I send you guys the TikTok of the dude that got the phone call from the radio station?
Is
That
that the one about
doesn't-
he called in and they were talking about the electric fence
No.
and he said,
Okay, so not
it
that
was
one.
his brother. and
No,
his
so there was
fucking
one.
wife or
I
something.
sent that one too. That
Yeah,
one was funny as
that
fuck.
one
We'll
was
talk
funny.
about that in a second. There was one where the radio station calls and they do like prank calls and shit.
right.
And so
Like
he's
Bob
like,
and Tom used to do.
yeah, and so he's like, this guy calls and he answers. He's like, hello. He's like, is this so and so? He's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, so heard about your situation next weekend. And he's like, what situation? And he's like, well, we understand it's your wife's birthday weekend. She had plans. He's like, yeah. And he's like, but you were supposed to go out with the boys on the boat and go fishing. He's like, yeah. And then fucking ends up,
I don't know if you sent it to me.
so they go through this whole fucking deal where he's like, okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to show up to your house in a cop car. And he's like, I'm going to jump out. I'm going to tackle your ass. I'm going to rough you up. I'm going to put you in some cuffs. And the guy's like, whoa, what the fuck you mean rough me up? And he's like all against it, like completely against it. And the guy's like, I'm going to get out. I'm going to tackle you and I'm going to rough you up, give you a couple bruises and some hard fucking hits. I'm going to arrest you. I'm going to put you in a cop car and I'm going to tell your wife it's going to be like 72 hours, get him in, all the other bullshit. There's a warrant out. He was like, no, you're not fucking doing that. My wife will have a fucking panic attack. And she'll show up with through all the bullshit. And the guy's like, no, it's called bro something.
Like bro kidnapping?
Something like that. You turn him loose, he's going to have his weekend fishing.
Yeah. And so like basically he's going to drop him off with his buddies. He's going to go fishing. Then whenever he gets out, they'll drop him back off at his house.
If you own a company that does that, we need to talk.
And so what
I
happens is
bet
he
you
goes
do
through
what-
this
We're
whole
gonna get
ordeal.
kidnapped together.
And the guy's like,
In
well, can
Vegas.
you not like rough me up that much? Like, I don't want to be like that. And he was like, no, man, I have to fucking sell it. I have to make her think this is a real deal. And the guy's like, you know what? All right, fuck it. I'm in. Like, fuck, let's fucking do this. I want to fucking go fishing with the boys. And then at the end of the thing, he was like, by the way, this is a prank call from your wife. She wants you to know it's okay to go out with a weekend with your boys. Her birthday's fine. He's
I
like,
love her.
God damn it.
I love her.
So like she'd set him up, and it was called like, bro. I'll have to fucking try to find it on my phone.
Yeah,
But it
that's
was,
great.
But it was fucking classic, and I was like, I wonder if anybody ever actually does that. Like,
I don't know.
starts a fucking company where they like snatch up their friends and fucking like use excuses.
Maybe that's a side gig.
I mean, I think we've made excuses on needing help to go do stupid.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just like, okay, so here you go. There's a good one. So the day, I'm going to go live on TikTok. I forgot. I can do that.
God.
I'm just going to turn it
Hey.
on and not even pay attention to them and see what they do.
I sent it.
But I literally, the
No,
day,
the one I sent you of the fucking taking a shit next to the fucking electrical fence was fucking hilarious. I think I sent it to you too, Goucher.
the day we, oh, yeah, that one was hilarious. The day we went to your shoot, we're
Yeah.
on our way back. And we stopped at Elsmore at the liquor store. The
Yeah.
old masturbating liquor.
Oh yeah.
So we stopped there, and I'm like, I'm really not feeling drinking, but I'll get a 12-pack. And he got some chilada things to
Which
try.
I still have 2 of them in the fridge.
Do you?
Yeah.
And then the Sunny D seltzers, remember that we tried? He grabbed a 4-pack of them.
Them's tasty.
Oh, those
Oh,
are good.
Yeah, those
That's
are good.
breakfast food.
So
Yeah.
so we get all this stuff, and at this point, my wife's texting me, and I called her, and she
Oh,
goes, "So
God.
you're still planning on going to the lake today, right, for Danielle's birthday?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I said, well, my truck's at Tom's. I said, depending on what time you leave, I'll just come home and ride with you. And she's like, okay. I said, but if not, I'll go to Tom's, I'll hang out, and when you get to the lake, you tell me, and I'll come there. Long story short, she's like, well, are you on your way? I'm like, yeah, we're headed that direction. I didn't say we were on the highway doing 75 miles an hour, hauling ass home. I said, we're headed that direction. When I'm with him, we do what we want to do when we do it.
And I'm usually the asshole.
And in our
That's
own
fine.
time period. No, she wasn't even upset about it. I'm going to tell you that. She wasn't even upset. And so
Oh,
then she calls me and she says, I thought you were headed home. I'm like, yeah, I am. She goes, where you at? I said, I really don't know. Because we took the back
we're
roads.
somewhere between Bourbon Allen Lake
And
and,
we-
Uniontown.
We ended up at Bourbon Allen Lake. I don't know that I'd ever been there. They got a cool
That's the
little
one right
housing
there off
development.
Highway 7. You can turn and go back. In there. Yeah, it's actually
And,
good for fishing.
I'll be honest, I've lived in Bourbon County all my life.
Okay,
I have
found the
so
never
I got
been
people-
to Bourbon Allen Lake before.
Wow, I just got invited to duet Triple Up Alive.
Hey,
I accepted it. So I'm on
I-
with somebody else.
I found the video.
So oh, the deal's done. We're good. Oh, this is the one on the fishing trip.
Mhm.
They paid me.
Busta bro.
Bust a
Busta
bro.
bro.
That's cool. That's crazy. I don't know what this is doing here. That's insane. They paid him money to kidnap him. He's not on board at all. Right? Right. This is cool. when a bro's in doubt, pay the fee. That's awesome.
Right?
We should start a company doing this.
Oh,
Like
just
this is
wait.
genius,
Just wait.
right? Cool. Oh, I think it's great. Nope. Bust a bro. He's got to rough him up.
That's awesome.
That is great. Sign a waiver. No. Oh my God. We got to sell it. Who we got in here? What's up? Hey, how's it going?
That's great.
So I think that's like a lucrative business.
Oh
It could
yeah,
be.
it's fucking
Sure.
great.
Yeah, you could save a lot of guys and get them out of the house without their wife doing that.
Oh, and then the one I said to that was fucking comical of the whole
What was I
shitting on
telling
the
you about,
electrical
though?
fence.
I totally squirreled out.
Oh
We
God.
were lost
Oh,
between
God.
Uniontown
Here.
Oh, yeah,
and
so-
Bourbon Allen.
Just listen to this. I think I sent it
Okay.
to you.
Oh, I heard that. The
Yeah.
womb nuke. Yeah. Yeah. But so we end up at Bourbon Allen Lake, and she calls me. She goes, I thought you were coming home to ride with me. I said, well, I kind of told you that I would either be home to ride with you or I'd meet you at the lake. She goes, well, I'm leaving now, so just meet me at the lake. I'm like, all right, cool.
My
So-
house is closer to the lake
Yeah,
than your house.
Yeah, it was way closer, and we already had beer, so then we're like, we're taking our time. So we moseyed on back to his house, and then I just left from there and met my wife, 'cause she didn't have a vehicle.
Yeah.
So she rode with her friend. I'm like, okay, this is cool. We get there, long story short, it proceeds to be a whole day of festivities in the lake. And we get back to Mike and D's, and that's why I'm like, we're going to use your spare room tonight because I'm not driving home. I'm not going to take a chance. So we just stayed the night there, got up the next morning, made breakfast, hung out, and then come home.
See, I told you I was gonna go on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Nope, too many cervezas.
Oh, really?
I went in, sat down for a minute, took a nap.
Oh, a nap would have been much welcomed
It
that
was
day.
amazing. Ever come in? What are you doing? Napping. Go away.
Right? I'm taking a nap. Don't talk to me.
I went home and took a nap after the trap shoot too.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Hell yeah.
I didn't. I went home and partied hardy for a while. I found my inner 25-year-old again, and we rolled hard. And then this weekend was pretty cool.
Brought
This
to you by
weekend-
Blue Chew.
Yeah, barbecue
rolled
and Blue
hard.
Chew. I have to say, if nobody's seen it yet, you need to go see Deadpool. Dude, it's the best.
I didn't even. Okay, speaking of, so you know how I told you Friday night I wasn't doing shit.
You should have took your
Because-
wife and seen Deadpool.
Saturday, well, I'm at work Friday. Shit show of a fucking day.
Right.
Everybody's fucking pissed off at every fucking buddy. There's a lot of fucking stupid shit involved. And so I get a phone call from my old lady, and she's like, hey, leads off with, I think the transmission's going out of my car.
No.
Oh,
And I'm like, babe,
No.
where? Because she had to go get Emily from Nevada to bring her home for the weekend.
Right.
I was like, where are you? And she's like, well, I can't go over 45 miles an hour, and it has this fucking death wobble. And I'm like, that's
That's a tire.
a fucking wheel bearing, not a fucking transmission. That's like your wheel bearing went out and that
Yeah.
fucking tire's just flopping. And I'm
Right.
like, where are you? And she was like, well, I'm passing the VFW. I'm almost at Dad's Road. I'm going to go to Dad's. And she goes, but it has this weird smell. I'm like, well, a wheel bearing won't give you a weird smell. They just go the fuck out.
extremely
I'm like,
hot,
unless
trying
it's
to
extremely
burn.
hot. And I'm like, what the fuck is going
Maybe
on?
a brake caliper locking up?
And she's like, well, I smelt this smell before, but I thought it was my transmission. I'm like, that's not going to cause your car to have a death wobble,
No.
even though it's a front wheel drive car.
No.
So she gets to her dad's and she calls him back and she's like, well, she's like, my front driver's side brake is locked up. I was like, well, your
Yeah.
caliper probably seized.
Yeah.
No big fucking deal.
And
So-
the smell was the brake
so-
shoes burning.
Friday night, I come home, go into O'Reilly's in Fort Scott, buy the caliper, buy the rotor, buy the new brake pads, because her brake pads were actually only like 4 months old. They have a lifetime
Oh,
warranty.
okay.
So he's like, just bring me back the old pads. When you bring
Well-
back the caliper, we'll just warranty him out. We'll give you your money back. I was like, okay, cool. Get there, jack her car up, front tire moves freely. I'm
Well,
like,
some of them, the line will collapse and it'll let off.
that's
what
it was.
it did?
That fucking driver's side line collapsed, and so I was like, okay, well, called Nevada because I was already over there.
Right.
Called Nevada O'Reilly's. We don't have one. Call Fort Scott O'Reilly's. We don't have one.
Lockwoods or K&K?
And so I was like, well, why don't you have those? And they're like, well, they're not much of a common thing because that really doesn't happen often.
Right.
And they're like, we don't really have them. We can order you one. It'll be here on Tuesday's truck or Thursday's truck.
So
I
I
was
can't
like,
wait that long.
motherfucker. So I called Jake, and Jake's like, well, if the tire's free, drive that motherfucker home.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Drove it home, whole way home. Hit the fucking brakes like I always would. Even driving down the fucking highway, I'm like, I'm curious. Slammed on that motherfucker just to see if it would lock up.
And it
Never
would
did
do
it
it.
again.
Oh,
But after they do it once, it's prone to do it again.
Right. Right.
So I was like, all right. Ended up getting home. But yeah, somehow it went from transmission to death wobble. And what the death wobble was her fucking shit was locked up and getting hot and it was
mhm.
moving. But I guess her dad said when she pulled in his driveway, he was like 4 feet from her tire and could feel the heat coming off.
Oh, yeah. So it definitely locked up.
Does it? Well, yeah, it locked the fuck down. And she goes, why do you have to change all that? Well, motherfucker, you made that shit hot. I guarantee
Warped
you
the
that
rotor?
I guarantee you that rotor is fucked. Which I drove home the whole way. Brakes worked perfectly fine and smooth as
When
shit.
you hit the brakes, did you feel it going, whoa, whoa, whoa?
No,
So it didn't warp the rotor.
No, but I bought everything new anyways, just
Right.
because I know the brake pads. Because when I would hit the brakes, they weren't as grabby.
Right.
So I'm like, you smoked them fucking brake pads.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I'm just gonna change everything out, so that way. So I'm currently waiting on my fucking, which she's currently driving her dad's spare truck.
Right.
So I wish I had one of them.
So what did it end up being? Did it end up being the line, you think?
I guarantee it.
Okay.
It's because it's that that 10-inch rubber
Yeah.
fucking shit.
Coming
and
from the steel
and
hard
after
lines.
a while, when they get wore out, they just collapse.
Well, hillbilly hack before you get a pair of vice grips, you can clamp that off. You can keep driving it. You got 3 other brakes.
But if she
Never thought of that.
if she wasn't hauling all the kids all the time,
Well,
I would probably do it. If it was my Suburban, yeah. But
That's insane. That's a great idea. Never
Yeah.
thought of that.
don't do that.
and then what
Just
pisses
don't
me
do
off is
that.
But, I mean, it's
Is
not
I'm-
OSHA approved,
is
but
I'm,
it could
I'm
work.
driving home, I'm driving home Saturday,
Right.
or I'm driving around Saturday in my in my Suburban outside, and I go to stop and I hear this grinding noise.
Oh no.
I'm like,
You got brake shoes going out of yours.
so I like listen and I'm like, it's not in the front. I was like, okay, maybe
Ground brakes on the back.
No.
Oh.
I was like, maybe I just got something stuck in there. I gotta start paying more attention when I drive my car. Cause I pull up to the house and look. There's a ring on the top of my fucking rotor that looks like fucking you took it and ran it through fucking gravel. I was
Uh-oh.
like, and you look at the brake pads and the bottom part, like you know how they're like horseshoed.
They wore weird.
The bottom part's like basically still new, but the top part broke off.
Oh.
Cause you know how the brakes have like the top section and
Yeah,
the bottom
yeah.
section, they have all the lines
And the
in them.
top section's
The top
gone.
section broke off. How long it's been fucking broke off for, I don't fucking know.
So you just
But-
had a break-in weekend.
I'm just gonna fucking leave it. No,
Full
fucking-
send.
it's just the
Full
back
send.
brakes. Fuck the
Yeah.
back brakes. You don't
We don't
need
use
Oh,
them
they're
very
not
much
for it.
anyway.
I was in high school.
No, that's a lie now. Like if your vehicle has all 4 disc brakes, when you hit the brake, it all works the same.
With four-wheel anti-lock brakes, but the majority of your stopping power
Is in the front. Yeah. Did not know that.
In high school, I had I drove junk trucks. They were affordable back
Yeah,
then.
Right.
I still do.
Rear brakes, I blew out the wheel cylinders on this old 76 I had going down National cruise night.
Old square body.
Oh yeah, no money to my name. I had enough money for beer and a little bit of gas. I wasn't spending that money on brake parts.
No.
So pull into the high school parking lot and grab the old trusty hammer, crawl underneath there and smash them brake lines closed. That was a burnout machine after that. The rear
Yeah,
brakes
lock
all
the front
jammed
end up and then just roast them.
Yeah.
I do remember
Yeah, I
that.
drove it one time after that and goes, "What is wrong with your brakes?" Just don't ask.
No.
Just get out
The
of it.
back don't work.
Don't ask, don't tell.
That's right.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, that sounds like you had a pretty interesting weekend so far, and you're still gonna
I
have
told
to.
her I was like, I'd still fucking drive it because, her dad's like, my Jeep did the same thing. He's like, you could literally, it would happen. Then it's
pull over
and
and
then,
let it set for a
and
little
when you
bit.
pull over and let it set, and it releases that pressure off the line, it'll expand back.
Then you're gonna
and
go
he
for a
me-
while.
And he was like, I drive it 4 or 5 more fucking times, normal,
Ex-
and it'd do it again. He's like,
Especially
but the
if
problem
you
is when
already
you're on the
have all the-
highway and you fucking hit your brakes as you're behind somebody,
Yeah.
and it locks that
Mhm.
motherfucker up. He was like, you could cause some damage, and I was like, well, her
You
car
already
has
have
full
all
coverage.
of the replacement parts for it, though.
Yeah,
now.
I have them all in the back of her van besides the hose.
So you just tell her, don't worry about it. All you're gonna do is torch everything. I already got the replacements for it.
Right.
Drive it.
Yeah, full
Right.
coverage. You put her in the Bourbon, you take that one on the road.
Well, the sad thing is,
Touche.
she comes home yesterday,
Because a grocery
she's
getter
like-
would be fun to have on the road.
right? And she's like, I think I want a new car. Like, why?
Cost lots of money.
He's like, yeah. Oh, we got to fight Canada. Cost lots of money.
Cost lots of money.
$6,500.
Ain't got no gas in it.
How about $60? I love that video. And she's like, or she's like, we could just trade my van in and get you a real nice road car, and I'll just drive the Suburban around. I was like, oh.
Oh, now that's a thought.
And I was like, okay. So you know me, I get on fucking Briggs and
Oh,
Bourbon
she
County
shouldn't have
cars,
done
and I'm
that
like
'cause
looking
now
around,
his
and they
wheels are
had like
turning.
Bourbon County cars has like a 2018 Ford Fusion.
Nice.
It's got like a 127,000 miles on it for like $9,000. I was like,
Nice.
oh. So I make a phone call, start talking about it. Then I hang up talking to them. I'm like, well, I went online, fit all the paperwork out to trade her van in, stuff like that.
Right.
And she's like, but I really would like a new Suburban. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Said, no, you're going to have to drive this old girl
And
for a while.
she's like, but you could trade in your Suburban on a road car. And I was like, I don't want to get rid of my Suburban. I want to have that for Hayden.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I was looking at cars for Hayden and turns her computer around.
oh, Lord.
And I was like, and
So she
she's
had a
like,
rebuttal to everything you were
oh,
thinking
yeah.
already.
Every thing on the phone call I was saying,
Already
she was
had it all
already
planned.
fucking on the internet searching. I was like, whatever you want to do, babe. She's like, well, I'll let you know what I find. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
Ah, but that would be a flawless idea. Trade her van off, get you a good road car. Her drive the Suburban because your Suburban's in great shape.
Yeah.
And it's got
190,000 miles.
plenty of room for all the kids and all the activities, and you've still got a big ass cargo area back there to stack groceries and everything in.
It currently has a Blackstone and 2 sets of golf clubs in there.
Nice. I seen you got a new set of golf clubs.
I
That
did.
lady finally
I did.
pulled the trigger and called you back on Marketplace.
Well, so she had messaged me whenever we were coming home from that week.
Right.
She messaged me in fucking Pittsburgh and was like, I told the other guy he can't have them no more. You're next in line. I'm like, ma'am, I just got home almost. I was like, it's a 2-hour drive. I was
Yeah.
like, and she's like, well, I'm going on vacation tomorrow. She's like, I won't be back till Thursday. And I'm
Right.
like, perfect. Like, that's perfectly fucking fine.
I'll
So
pick them up
fucking-
then.
Yeah. So that next Thursday, I went to there and I was in the wrong area.
What do you mean the wrong area?
I was,
A little rough?
no. I look like white fucking trash
Well, I mean,
in that fucking area. Like,
You rolled into Richwood
oh god,
What
you
kind
mean,
of clubs
like,
are
so,
they?
like, you know,
Are they
the
super nice
houses on
clubs?
the,
golf clubs.
they're
yeah, I know. I don't know
they're
anything about 'em.
Callaway,
They're Callaways?
they're Callaway Razor X Tour editions.
I do know big golf names. I just
I
don't know.
mean, they're in my car.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check them
but,
out after
um,
we get done.
Yeah, so I pulled in that to their
he got-
neighborhood.
You got a
and,
great deal on them too.
Yeah, for $200. And then the houses on our golf course
Uh-huh.
were smaller than their house,
Really?
and it was a fucking suburban area.
So
like,
it was
they were
big
all-
money. It was big
yeah.
money area.
And I pull up, and I was like, I had thought she said 7, but she said 7:30 was when they should be back home. I was there at like 6:45. So I'm sitting there in my car on TikTok, just scrolling, fucking around.
And all the
and
neighbors
like,
are wondering who
I watched
this guy
this
is.
nice ass Mercedes SUV drive by and pull up in their driveway. And I was like, oh, well, you know, they got shit to unload, whatever. And she goes over and knocks on the window, and I'm like, I get out, I'm like, oh. I was like, damn, wonder what this fucking feels like. And she was
Y'all
like,
got
oh yeah,
some money.
they're in the garage. And I go in their garage, and I'm like, oh, wonder what this fucking feels
Your
like,
garage is as
It's
nice
the size
as
of
my
my
house.
house.
right? But yeah, I ended up buying them for $200.
Yeah, that's a deal.
They're not very old. They're like 20
Right.
in the bag.
And the bag. And their
Bag.
Callaway bag. Oh yeah. So you got a good little chunk of change there.
Oh,
Cheap.
fucking hands down.
That's cool.
I played with them that Saturday.
Well, I
Didn't improve
personally,
much, but
like I said, I'm not a golfer. I
Yeah.
never have been a golfer. I'll go out and whack some balls on a driving range or something, or go hang out. My brother-in-law's a great
but
golfer.
dude,
Great
I
golfer.
developed an addiction to Marketplace down there
Oh,
because it's a rich area down there. They just give shit away.
Forget you're down there. I'm on Marketplace all the time. I know somebody in Arkansas now. Man,
Yeah.
you pick stuff up.
But
Yeah.
like I was
Hey,
on
stop
the
by
other
and get
day
this before you come home.
and I was like, Brett. He's like, what? He was stoned, almost asleep on the couch, and I was like, hey, you think we can fit a fucking sectional in the back of your truck? He's like, well, I mean, yeah. And I was like, we can probably fit a piece in the back of my Suburban. You know,
Yeah.
I'll just fucking
Fold the seats down.
fold the seats down. We can slide a piece in there. I was like, I'll strap a piece to the fucking top.
Tell me you bought it.
And no, I was late. And like she had just posted it, and it was $150,
For a sectional?
a year-old sectional.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, is that like brown microfiber, nice, clean? Had
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 fucking flip outs. It was huge. It was like
Really?
8 pieces.
It would have
It
been
was
a heavy son of a
massive
bitch with all
fucking
the
thing.
with all
And
the
I was like-
recliners in it.
And I was like, right, you think we can fit this in like back of your truck? He was like, with enough fucking ratchet straps, we can fit shit anywhere.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect. I was like, we'll just. So I messaged her. I was like, so hey, I would like to come look at the section and buy it. And she was like, I just had someone leave with it. I'm so sorry. I was like, fuck. So then I'm like looking on there again, and I'm like, hey, I found another one. I just get fucking yeah, like $150 for sectionals. Fucking, I ended up showing Brett he wanted to buy a new fridge. I found him a fridge down there for $200 fucking for a year-old fucking LG fucking dual door bottom fucking bunch of fucking clothes shit.
Really?
Like $250, like a year-old fucking fridge.
I
And
will
I'm
say-
like, I like this rich area,
Be,
motherfuckers.
be careful with those. My father-in-law can attest to it. Them ones with the bottom freezer drawer thing.
I have one.
Oh, he's had so many issues out of his. The freezer part going out, and I think his was an LG. It may have been a GE. It was one of the 2-letter
All
ones.
mine, like, so my new washer and dryer and refrigerator are all Whirlpool.
Whirlpool.
That's what I bought.
I got an Amana.
Well, that
Amana.
and while we're on that subject, because we've squirreled out and went to several different subjects, if you ever have to buy a new washer, because we had to buy one a year ago, and my wife wanted the heavy duty, the high capacity, all that
That's what I
stuff.
have.
Yeah, Gina's getting a
Ours didn't
washboard and a
have
tub
the-
next time.
Ours didn't have the center agitator in it.
Ours does.
Well,
Ours is like this long, though.
okay. You want to make sure and get one of those, because ours didn't, and she wanted it so she could do like our bedspreads
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Dude, I don't think it gets the clothes clean
No.
without
It
that
do-
agitator. I really don't. There's been several times where I'll pull clothes out and I'm like, and it's supposed to be water efficient and all that. Well, it's not when you wash it 2 times.
No.
Because there's been times
And I
where she's
hate
like, "Babe, I
mine.
don't think I got these clothes clean," and so we'll have to wash them again.
I hate mine because it's got all them fucking sensors in it. So if you throw like a blanket in there and like a pillow or something like that, and it throws the balance off, it'll just stop it.
Right, right.
And then when you gotta hit start, it'll fucking sit there and try to fucking level everything out.
Yep.
And then it doesn't do it, and then it stops it again. And I'm like, "Vrr!" So I just take all the shit out. So that's why we just take all of our big shit, like our comforters and shit. She just takes them to the laundry.
Yeah, so
and
this
throws
one-
them in that big round.
My whole point to
motherfucker.
that, this one's supposed to be high capacity, and we actually have to do smaller loads than we did when we had our normal one.
I got a set. I think they're Samsungs. These are like 12 years old. My
Yeah,
mother,
but yours
my
were
mother
great,
bought- these
Gina
are-
said.
Oh yeah, now they do. I fixed them again.
Oh, okay.
They're front loads. I think I've had to put a hose and a pump on the washer,
Right.
which is extremely easy now that I figured out how to do it. But I mean, they have been moved time and time again. I think they got one more move left in them, and that's gonna be the trash pile. when I buy new stuff.
Mine, I fucking bought mine, and like within 6 months, my daughter comes in there and she's like, "Dad, it keeps saying error code." So I would go in there and look, and it said FE.26. whatever. So I ended up calling, and it was under warranty.
Right,
So I
right.
called them, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we'll just send you," because it was Hydrix, and they're like, we'll just give you a temporary one, and we'll come get yours." I was like, "Okay."
Oh, really?
Then I find out the fucking control panel went fucking bad.
Really?
None of the fucking buttons would work. It wouldn't do fucking nothing. It'd come on and say, welcome, do the Whirlpool logo.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and then when you hit
And
start,
then pop up an error.
like, no, you hit start and then bink, it popped that fucking error up.
I can't remember what brand it was. And our old house had the damn electric stove. Hated that son of a bitch. But we had power surge one night.
Damn, got 1,000
Blank
likes.
display in. Gina comes in. Gina cooks all the time,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
She goes, "My
Hey, how's
oven's
it going?"
broke." Great. Look at it. Yep. Biggest cause of this. Your whole board, everything's went out. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to have to break down and buy another oven. Looking and looking. Thank God for air fryers. We do everything air fryer.
Yeah.
What's up?
Show them the new T-shirts.
2 days later, another big old storm run through. Power flash. Another surge.
New
Came
T-shirts.
back.
Oh, hell yeah. Just
That's
need a
no
little
shit.
jump
It
start.
acted a little weird.
Need a
But
little
it
jump
came
start.
back, and when we sold the house, we made sure that oven stayed.
Yeah.
It still worked.
Right?
Right?
God, no, no,
What are we at? He's looking at something. How long are we rolling?
That's
It's never been 2.
No, really?
No?
been an hour and 6 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I feel like we talked about a lot.
We have.
Hey.
But we hadn't seen each other in a while.
Oh, yeah, it's been a minute. So,
And it's not.
which we're also going to, things are going to be changing too. Tom's now involved.
Yes. Yes, because Cody is now indisposed for a while.
No, I'm not. I'm still gonna be
takes
here.
him all over the
Yeah,
country.
he's just his schedule
It's
is
just
a little more
everyone's
hectic.
Yeah, everyone's schedules are going to be harder to. Well,
Well-
I feel like if he calls, you're like, I'm in.
Well,
You like you didn't ask what it
I don't
was.
do a
You're just
lot.
like,
yes,
I'm in.
yes and no, because like right now it's hard for him because
We're
they're doing
doing
asphalt.
Oh, fuck that.
So when he gets home at night, he's like, "What time do you?" Because I said, "Well, we're thinking about doing it Sunday." He goes, "What time?" Because Sunday's my day to recuperate because they're kicking our ass at work right now doing asphalt.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Well, we could do it mid morning, and that way
You
we
still
don't
get
have
your
to be
nap
out in the
in?
heat."
Oh, I'll get my nap in. And I'll still be in bed by 9 o'clock
Yeah,
tonight.
right?
Guaranteed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, I said the whole Deadpool movie was good.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time with Twister.
Really?
Oh, I mean, we went to the drive-in, sit in the back of the truck, me and my buddy and our wives, sat in the back of the truck, watched the movie. That part was cool.
Yeah.
Because it was a beautiful night out last night. It was like 70 degrees, nice breeze, not a cloud in the sky. And that part was cool. They tried way too hard with Twister.
Really?
Oh God, yeah, dude. That what's that guy's name? Glenn, whatever, that plays the lead guy in it.
Yeah.
So
You said he got you wet. That's all I knew about it.
he was sexy for a guy, I guess. My wife thinks he's sexy. That's the only reason she wanted to go see it. I'm like, she goes, oh, and that white t-shirt and that cowboy hat. I'm like, I can buy a white t-shirt and a cowboy hat. But yeah, no.
The difference between a 6-pack and a keg, bud.
Yeah, but I have
I
a
got a mini
six-pack.
keg going now.
I have a six-pack. I just
Whiskey
choose
barrel.
to keep my abs warm under a layer of fat.
Right.
I don't want them to get cold.
Right.
But no, the movie, I think they reached a little too hard.
Yeah.
I went into it thinking they were going to follow like the same premises of the first movie.
No, they didn't want to do that.
Well, they didn't at all.
Yeah.
It was kind of slow. And we weren't 20 minutes in, and I looked over, and Mike's like, I'm over it. I was like, yeah, me too. He goes, it's kind of cool sitting in the back of a truck drinking a beer, watching it on a drive-in. But if we'd have went to the theater and seen it, probably would have left before it was over. Because it's just, some of it's not believable. He plays a super douche at the beginning because he's a YouTuber.
Oh.
And he's but the way, no pun intended, but the way he does it, he plays this like super douche, and he's got this truck that's got screw anchors in
I
it.
seen
If I'm
that.
spoiling this for you, I'm sorry, but I really don't care. If you go waste your money, go for it. But like these screw anchors that anchor into the ground so he can drive into a tornado and video from inside a tornado. Mind you, he drives into a tornado, screws these anchors in the ground,
Launches
it
fireworks.
never busts a video, or I bust a video. It never busts a window. We all know that wouldn't happen. The suction alone would crush those windows. Launches fireworks up into the tornado. Launches rockets up into the tornado. And then when it's all said and done, he jumps out of the truck. That's perfectly fine. Mind you, these screw anchors are only like this big. If it's going to keep it from pulling it up out of the ground, you and I both know those augers are going to have to be 3 or 4 foot in the ground. He's got this cool little button he hits, and it screws it down to the ground and sucks it down, and then they ride the tornado out, and then they jump out, and they got their cameras, and they're doing their YouTube thing, and you look in every direction, and nothing's hurt. Not believable.
Them's called dirt devils that go across the
Yeah.
fields that's been plowed.
Oh, no, this was an F2.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, not happening.
anybody can drive into a tornado once with
And-
Roman candles.
And then one of them
One
toward,
time and one time only.
Don't go to the basement. Stand on a roof. Be a man.
So you know the premise, right? So the premise of the first one, they wanted to send them little orbs up so they could map
Which they did.
a tornado, which they did.
Dorothy.
Yeah. So they have Dorothy in this one. It's still Dorothy, and it still does that deal. But she's got this chemical in 55-gallon drums that is like I don't even know what it's the shit you'd throw in like a pond or something, and it soaks up water, and it like turns it to jelly. Well, she's trying to send this shit up into a tornado to stop a tornado. It's supposed to suck the moisture out of the air as the tornado drags it up into the atmosphere and steal the power of the tornado. Because all it is that causes a tornado
High
is cold
pressure, low
pressure,
pressure.
cold, low pressure, and warm, high pressure mix, and that's what causes it. Well, this is supposed to disrupt it and cause the tornado to stop.
Fuck's sake.
Tries it. Long story short, I'm probably ruining this movie for whoever watches this, and I really don't care because it's dumb. That was mean, but it was dumb. She tried it the first time, and people died, and it traumatized her. So the whole thing was getting back to the end where she gets the courage up to try it again, and it worked.
Okay, let's go back to this first Twister movie, though, the good one.
The good one.
Okay.
Who was the
This-
guy that
this-
played that? It wasn't Randy
Bill
Quaid.
Paxton.
Bill Paxton. I couldn't
He's
think of his
dead.
name
This
last night.
makes no sense.
Bill Paxton. Right?
Brand
He's
new,
dead.
second-gen Dodge. That was a slick truck back.
It
that
was.
liability only.
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
Yeah. No.
Bullshit.
No.
No.
You don't put
Fucking
liability on
brain
that.
fart was that?
You don't remember that part in the
No, I
movie?
do remember. I can
Yeah.
I can recite that whole fucking movie.
Okay. I mean,
But it's like-
let's think about it. Why would you, my new truck, Got full coverage, liability only. Bull. Yeah,
Why would you do that?
yeah. I've
On
been
a
out
truck
well.
that fancy.
They had a cell phone then, too. That little bag phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had two-way radios
Oh,
and stuff.
Geico.
Yeah.
Need full coverage.
Yeah.
You're ready to do something dumb.
Right?
But on
Geico
this one,
wasn't a thing then, was it?
that's the only thing they kind of stuck with on this one. It's a second-gen Dodge, but it's a
Nah,
dually.
it wasn't a
It's not a
second
second-gen
That's
Dodge.
like a 4th gen.
It's a fourth.
Is
gen
it?
Dodge,
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Old raggedy ass
I'm
truck.
not a car
though.
guy. But it's cool the way he did it because it's got like the ladder racks.
Yeah.
But then he's got extra roll cages built into it, and the top of every one of those pipes is a launcher. I'm like, now that premise I could get on board with.
Right.
If you could just drive down the road and hit a button and launch rockets out of your freaking truck, yeah,
So
every
how'd you
day
go
would
to
be
jail
like the
if you
4th
don't
of
want to
July.
fucking know about it.
Technically.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, because the pipes were hollow and they had these little igniter things
you,
on them.
You just need a guy to sit there and feed the mortars, the artillery.
Well, they
drills.
preload them all.
Well, that-
And he had like 4 on each corner post. So he could just hit buttons and shoot off individual ones or shoot them all in a cluster. I was like, kind of want to try it. The pyro in me thinks that'd be
So
cool.
how'd you wind up in the
Next-
emergency room?
next
Um,
4th of July.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We can use your buggy.
You know what? Now, since I'm on here, if all these people watching, I just want them to know. So the 4th of July videos that you and I recorded.
Uh-huh.
Okay, when my father-in-law was shooting all the fireworks and stuff off. The one of them shooting it off, and we did some kind of music background. I shared it. It stayed when we were down in the pit.
Yeah.
It stayed on TikTok. Then I put one on there, and it says, "Oh, would you look at this? Would you look at it? The aftermath of all of the spent cakes, that stayed. The one I did that Larry shot off that double stick of dynamite, community guideline.
Did you contest it?
I did. I contested both of these. The other one was almost the exact same video of us being down in the pit and them shooting all them cakes off. They community guidelined it too, and they were back to back. Like it was almost the same thing, but it was a little better shot of them popping up above us and a different sound, and they community guidelined it.
Fucking liberals.
I don't get it. No shit. It's like, what the hell?
I don't fucking.
Don't understand it.
Well, what was it last time that we got in trouble for? Well, you was
I don't-
taking a cancer stick.
Yeah.
But
That,
then,
Oh,
what did I
yeah.
do? I took a drink of that bottle of whiskey.
and your wife said you were a
Yeah,
sexy,
that was it.
sexy beast.
I said a sexy beast, and they oh, he's evil.
It was.
They're
It said,
prejudiced against fat people.
they are.
They
They
are.
are. And
It's
and,
there right here.
and then they said
TikTok is prejudiced against fat people.
and then they said something about it was some kind of hate talk or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the? That wasn't hate talk. His
You
wife
wanna hate-
said he was a sexy
You want to
beast.
hate talk? You want to hear it later.
Oh, he said she was hate talking. Thank you, Jesus. Help me, Tom Cruise. Ninjas are after me.
Oh fuck.
Safe word is stop, you crazy bitch.
I think my safe word would be pull my hair. I got no safe word.
You lose a safe
I don't have
word.
no hair.
Oh, that was awkward.
Slap a plunger on top. Joystick.
Plunger.
Right? She can just sit there and fucking me around down there.
Cody just make the noise with his face.
You go get a tattoo on top of your head. Let go of my ears. I know what I'm doing.
Oh. That fucking hurt.
So speaking of which,
Uh-oh.
you're talking about the whole tattoos. So we were sitting at the drive-in last night, and Mike Miles and I had a epiphany.
Oh, God.
So Big Derek's got that neuropathy and had to have his pinky toe taken off.
Uh-huh.
And I told him, I said, now he just needs to tattoo on top of his
Piggy went
foot.
to the market.
This piggy went to the market and an arrow to where it used to be. He's like, dude, we got to tell him. He'll do it because he will. This dude's not scared to get a tattoo of anything,
Right.
and he's completely covered anyway, and he's 7 foot tall. So I'm like, because
That would be great.
so 2 years ago we went on vacation. He got a sore on the bottom of his big toe, and because he has diabetes and neuropathy,
Diabetes.
it won't help. Diabetes.
Diabetes.
He got the diabetes. It won't heal right. So he was having to go to wound care, and it was like a long 6-month process. Finally healed up. And I was like, why don't you just have him take it off? He goes, well, because your big toe is 70% of your balance, and I can't wear flip-flops. And I'm like, oh, I never thought of it that way. So then when he had the pinky toe taken off, he was telling me the day before, he's like, having the pinky toe taken off. He's like, it got infection in the bone, and they got to get ahead of it. And I'm like, well, that's cool, but at least you can wear flip-flops. He said, yeah. I said, if you hadn't of, you'd had to wear Jerusalem cruisers. So he asked me, he's like, what's a Jerusalem cruiser? I'm like, the Jesus sandals, like the ones Doc Martin used to make, where your
straps
foot's
everywhere.
all inside all them straps. He goes, I don't want to get a pair now. He said, so he looked them up, them Chacos that all the girls are wearing, that's like the vinyl straps. He goes, dude, they would have to stare at that no toe being there.
I wonder if you get like a toe printed on the sandal down.
Oh my God, that would be great. But just his foot. So of course, me being the guy that's super sensitive, and feels bad about people going through stuff like that. First thing I said was, "Well, now you can buy narrow shoes,"
What a
because it took
dick.
quite a bit off the side of his foot. And Mike's like, "Nope, he can only buy one, because the other one will still be a wide."
God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it
I
was.
seen it this morning. I didn't know what he had going on. It was on Snap this morning
Yeah,
in the hospital room. I wonder if the heck there's a digit missing.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and I mean, I make light of it because that's the way I cope with shit. I hope they got all the infection.
Oh
out.
yeah.
Because
It did the same thing to my daughter's finger.
I know, but in my thinking, he already has trouble healing on his feet. Anyway, how's this big ass scar gonna heal?
Hopefully,
Like,
pretty
is it
good.
gonna take forever? Because it took forever for a little bitty sore in the bottom of his foot to heal, and he had to go to wound care all the time and all the stuff. And now I'm thinking, is that big stitched up spot gonna heal good, or is it just the fact that it had
Well,
infection that took it?
Yeah, I think it had the infection that got in there and was causing it not to heal.
Yeah.
That if they got it all cleaned out, we're gonna put back together. You would think it would
Yeah.
heal up pretty
He
good.
had to stay all weekend. He said, I was like, why? He goes, well, it doesn't hurt anymore. He said, but it's one of them, because see, he really doesn't have a lot of feeling in it. And that's the reason he went and had this toe looked at. He got a blister before we went. This all started with a blister on his toe before we went to Jamaica. And the whole time we were in Jamaica, I was like, does it hurt? He goes, no, I think it's doing pretty good. And we hung out in the pool. And, we wore flip-flops or sandals the whole time, so it gave his toe time to heal.
Air
Well-
out and help it.
Yeah, then we got home, and it kept getting worse, and he'd send me a couple Snapchats. He was at wound care, and I'm like, oh, my God. Well, then, just out of nowhere, Friday night, he said, in the ER. And I'm like, why? He goes, this toe's hurting. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, you can't feel your feet very good. He goes, yeah, that's why we came, because I was starting to feel it hurt. Well, by then, they said the infection was already in the bone, and they're like, we don't have to take this toe. He goes, I don't care what you do. I just don't want to lose my whole damn foot. Take it.
Big ass pirate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and see, our old neighbor, Daryl, that's the reason he died. He had that neuropathy, and he got it in his foot, and he had a hole in the bottom of his foot. You could see the bone,
Ooh.
and it wouldn't heal, so they took his leg off below the knee because he got infection in the bone. They had to go almost up to his knee. So he got a prosthetic. It all healed up. It was like 6 months after he was good, it did it to the other foot. And he goes, they're not taking both of my feet off. I will not be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. If I can't have this foot, I don't need to be here. And he died from it.
Mm.
Yep. I mean, he just purely out of stubbornness or
Yeah.
unalived himself. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that and being live on TikTok.
Oh, I'm fucking hungry.
I'm kind of getting there. Kind of getting
Right?
hungry myself.
All right, time for the closing act. Go.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, that ain't bad.
I don't do tricks.
Don't do
But he
tricks?
dances.
All right. Well,
naked.
hopefully.
Hopefully the audio works this time.
Oh, the audio is fine. I've been keeping.
Okay. We didn't get too loud and unhanded.
Now.
Or so.
No. That's what happens when there's no alcohol involved.
I know.
Then we
Um,
didn't go completely off
I mean,
the rails.
I did get a little bit of a buzz off the Dr. Pepper Zero.
God.
We should be good now for a few weeks as long as everyone's schedule works.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if not, like I said, you guys can do your own thing.
Oh, and I think y'all are gonna dig the shorts. There was some outtakes that happened because I had other guns on the brain and
Yeah.
some other
Oh, yeah.
things. So
There
those
was some
will be
fucking-
good.
There was some funny shit.
You put those in the little
Yeah, I'll put 'em in
OneDrive,
the
and
phone.
I'll post one this evening. And
I'm gonna go home and edit this and
Schedule
then
some.
and it'll be ready. It's easier if you do it the day after because then it gives it plenty of time to rent.
right. Well, and the nice part with those, we did them on your phone. So
I just upload them from my phone to the.
yeah.
Those will be.
You might have to do a
Ready to
little
go.
editing where you can tack some of that in
Oh yeah.
together. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
that's easy. That takes 2 seconds.
Oh, good.
But anyways, I'm starving. You're probably
I
hungry.
mean,
you're
I'm a fat kid. I love food. I could eat. I can
not
always
gonna
eat.
judge.
I will
but,
say
You
though,
know what? I probably eat less than most people I know because
I
I, have
guarantee it.
reserves.
Oh, true.
he doesn't get hungry.
I'd be the first one to die if we all ran out of food.
Yeah, you would, because your metabolism.
Yeah.
Like,
it
I've never
burns
seen any-
fucking
I'm-
quick.
I know we were getting ready to go, but I have to mention this. I have never seen a skinny person eat any more than that dude. Like he can eat a shit ton, and in 20 minutes be like, I'm freaking hungry. I'm like, God, if I hung out with you all the time, I'd be fat as a tick.
I had all
He,
I
he
had.
did
for-
blame me for a while for him
I
getting
did. He'd
fatter.
always bring in snacks, and he's like, here, you want some of this? I'm like, no, I don't need to eat. I'm fat for that reason.
Or every morning we ate Moe's.
Oh, God.
Oh, man, her biscuits and gravy were the bomb.
Said I have with the medicine I take in the morning.
Great
I have
cookie.
to have something. Like this morning, no, what was that deal she got? They're like little egg thing for the buns and turkey sausage and cheese.
Oh, really?
Which I didn't think I'd like turkey sausage. That's
It's pretty
actually
good.
pretty damn tasty.
Pretty good.
I eat that. If I eat before 8, 9 o'clock tonight, it'll be amazing.
Now,
I don't eat.
now that you bring it up and made me think about it with the turkey sausage, I need y'all to pray for me really hard this week. Because my wife went last week and got her. No, I don't want to join Raja. My wife went and got her blood work done.
Yeah.
And it's been 4 years since she had that alpha gal.
Gone.
Well, I'm not going to say it's gone, but she's
It's
noticed.
a little better.
She's noticed that, like, if we go somewhere and eat and there's a possibility of cross contamination, she hasn't been getting headaches or feeling icky or anything. So she went and got her blood drawn to see if it's getting better or if parts of it is gone. I need you to pray for me because we're getting ready to get a cow butchered. And if I could do smash burgers and not have to worry about my wife, I would be the happiest person on the planet. I made them the other night on the Blackstone with turkey burger. They weren't bad.
Yeah.
I smashed them out thin, let them burn, flipped them like you do. Everything texture-wise, they were pretty good too.
I just
And
want you
she
to
even
know
said-
last week I had steak 4 of the 5 days.
Oh, I'm so jealous. Yeah, that's the one he can't do. He can do pork.
I can do pork. I cannot do beef.
Liz, when we were in Arkansas, we cooked a whole bunch of steaks Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they cooked one for everybody. Well, they had bought 2 minutes. My dad's like, "You want to take these back to your house over there so then you can eat them?" I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah." So
Yeah.
See, we'll like smash burgers. We ate smash burgers yesterday. My sister-in-law and kids were all down. We get that Boston grind where it's mostly sausage and just
Yeah.
a little bit of beef. Beef.
Yeah, beef. That's all, folks.
I'll still get a tiny headache off of that. I'll take Benadryl, some Tylenol. I'll get a little bit of a headache off that, but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But full-fledged burger, steak, something like that, I'm done. I
That's
can't do. I'll
so-
sit in there on the couch the rest of the day, and I'm miserable. Feel like I've just had the shit knocked out of me.
tastes good.
Oh, it's amazing when I'm eating it. I know what's gonna happen, but
Like stupid.
But see, the kicker with you is you're able to do that. You know you're going to suffer, but you're able to do it.
Yeah.
If she done it, like literally that last time they told her, they said, you can't.
Yeah.
If you was to eat a piece of steak, you could potentially go into anaphylactic shock.
Mm.
And hers had gotten so bad at one point, she was going to a pulmonologist because they thought she had chronic asthma. It was affecting her breathing, like
Mhm.
breaking out in hives, and we're like, something's not right. They thought she had an autoimmune disease. Well, turns out she kind of did, but it was all stemmed from that damn tick bite. So check yourself good.
Yeah.
You get a tick dug in, check yourself good. I've noticed it's more to our region right now. I don't hear about it across the United States as much.
I seen that shit about the West Nile thing too.
Yeah, with that black
That's something
tiger
black.
striped mosquito or whatever.
Yeah.
Said it's carrying all kinds of stuff. They said if you get a black, and they're mean looking. I've seen them around here. Black, it's a black mosquito, but it's got them white stripes. They said those dudes are carrying all kinds of stuff. And that's sad.
That's how I got herpes.
That was, he said,
that's what
and
I'm
that's,
telling her.
and that's why my wiener turned orange.
Sorry, honey, it was a mosquito.
Well, you know, I've said it my whole life. There's only two things in this world I'm scared of. That's herpes and child support. And as of right now, I've got neither one. Thank you, Jesus. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Same.
I am clear.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end the YouTube thing. He's over there.
I just looked down to see, hey, good, you're back. Somebody said they're back. They found their charger. LOL.
There you go.
Yeah.
On that note, we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, we will.
Later.
Peace out.